What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Money Moves with K. I am K, and today we're going to talk about 5 banks or lending institutions that will lend to you or finance a new or used mobile home without you needing to own land. That is phenomenal. Now, I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm going to get right into the content so we can kind of go through it and I can break down some of the things that you need to know about this particular loan. Let's get it. So this is called a chattel loan. So a chattel loan it basically finances the mobile home. Now, I will say mobile home probably just because it's an accident, but there is a distinct difference between a manufactured home and a mobile home. So let's break it down. A manufactured home is a home that was built after June 15th, 1976. Okay, so June 15th, 1976. If it was built after that, it is considered a manufactured home. Anything prior to that date is a mobile home. Okay, it's a mobile home. So what these banks and lending institutions will finance is a manufactured home. I put mobile home in the title because we're all used to saying mobile home, but there is a very big difference. Okay, so keep that in mind. Also, I want you to keep in mind what a chattel loan actually is. It finances personal property. So personal property, and I discussed this in my last video, is property that is movable. A real property is on land, it's attached, right? It's fixed or affixed to land, okay? Now, the first bank I want to talk about is Cascade. And I'll go down a little bit more what a chattel loan is and some of the requirements you may need in order to get this particular loan. Now, this loan is very helpful for folks who have a mobile home. See, there it is again, a manufactured home, right? Or they want a manufactured home, but they do not have the land to put it on. So they may be leasing the land. They may have a family compound and their family's like, come on, you can come on the land. You just have to have your manufactured home and you bring, your home to the land, or you're still paying on the land. Some folks have a land loan and they're actually paying on the land. So it may not be complete yet, right? Or it could be for those folks who have their land, but they just don't have a manufactured home to place on the land. So that's a dilemma that you're in. How do I get financing for just the manufactured home, not the actual land? Okay, so keep that in mind. For those of you who are interested in this, but you don't have the land, this is for you for sure. Chattel loan. It outlines what a chattel loan is. I pretty much just told you, but it pretty much secures, it's like a mortgage, it's like a personal loan, better identified as a personal loan. But yeah, it finances the personal property, okay? So let's look at some of the requirements. Now, this is Cascade, cascadeloans.com, okay? So qualifying for a chattel loan, they're saying that the minimum credit score, the FICO score is needed is a 575, okay? Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do a video on credit, because I have a pretty good credit score. It's in the 800s. And because of that, we're able to do a lot of things as far as purchase properties and move a certain way because our credit score, my husband and I, credit score is high. So I want to know if you're interested in me doing any type of videos on credit, because that's my jam too. I love talking about credit for sure. So the minimum FICO score is a 575. The minimum loan amount is $35,000. So if you happen to find a repo, I've talked about repo mobile homes or manufactured homes on this channel. If you find a manufactured home that is a repo, right? Or it's used in general, it doesn't have to be new. That's the kicker. That's the cool part about this, is that it does not have to be new. So if you find a used manufactured home for $35,000, at least $35,000, you can get it financed, okay? So minimum loan amount will be $35,000. Maximum loan amount is $275,000. New single, multi-section manufactured homes are eligible. So it could be used or it can actually be new. Pretty phenomenal. You can put as low as 5% down. This is with Cascade Loans, right? As low as 5% down, as high as 50% debt to income ratios. I think I've talked about debt to income ratios before, but you need to know your debt to income ratio when you're purchasing a home of any sort, whether it be a manufactured home or an actual brick and mortar home, single family residential. It just doesn't depend, or commercial. You need to know about your debt to income ratio, which is very important. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do a video on that. I know very well what that means. We've purchased multiple properties and we know our debt to income ratio, okay? 20 to 23 year term. So it's not a traditional 30-year term loan. It is shorter than that. Okay. So they also give, this is what's really cool about Cascade, is that they give some outliers or things that they're looking for you not to have. So no repossessions on an auto loan within the last 24 months. And it goes on and on. I'm not going to go over each and every one of them because I have some other banks and lending institutions I want to go over. However, this is it. Now, one of the cons, there are a couple cons with a chattel loan. One of the cons is that they do require, like it said, 5% to 35% down. Now, that may be a pro, especially if you're getting a loan amount for $35,000, 5% down. I think it works out to about $1,700 or something like that, or I don't know, close to that. So keep that in mind. If you have a lower amount that you're trying to get as far as a loan, then that 5% down may not be that bad. But it does depend on your credit score. So make sure your credit score is high enough, at least 575. But of course, you want to be a little higher than that in order to get the terms and conditions more favorable to you. Makes sense to me. Okay. So if you have a higher credit score, you will have a lower down payment with the loan. So keep that in mind. Make sure your credit score is pretty good. So another con with a chattel loan is that I wrote it down. Higher interest rates. Yes. So there are higher interest rates with a chattel loan. Keep that in mind as well. A lot higher than what you may be accustomed to as far as with a traditional mortgage, or a single family residential. So it could be in the teens as far as the interest rate, which means that your monthly mortgage or loan payment may be a little higher. Just depends on the circumstances. It may not all be the same circumstances, especially if you get a good deal and you find a manufactured home that is within a reasonable range as far as price is concerned. And you can kind of go from there. Okay. So those are a couple of cons with a chattel loan. These are some pros as well. It says some benefits. Chattel loans usually have lower processing fees. Chattel loans interest may be tax deductible. Very interesting. Monthly mortgage payments have a similar structure to conventional mortgage payments. Chattel loans typically have a shorter loan term than a conventional mortgage. Most chattel loans don't last longer than 23 years. Very important to know. Moving on. The next bank I want to discuss with you, or lending institution, is CIS Home Loans. CIS Home Loans, they also do chattel loans, okay? So the website is cishomeloans.com. It discusses pretty much what I just discussed to you about what a chattel loan is and how do you qualify for it. So make sure you go to the FAQ on each and every website and see what are the qualifications. Call them up, email them. I always suggest to folks who watch my channel, you have to be proactive with this and resist the friction. What does that mean? It basically means that you are doing the hard work in order to get what you need, especially for information and resources. So I'm providing the resource to you, but if you have any other further questions, you would have to reach out to these folks who know a lot more than I do about their financing terms, rules, and regulations. Okay, so keep that in mind. So CIS Home Loans is another bank or lending institution that provides chattel loans for you guys. All right, moving on. We're going to go to our number 3 is Triad Financial Services. So it discusses what a chattel mortgage is, or chattel loan is. Same thing. It's going to say the same exact thing on each and every website. But this is what I will say. On most of these websites that I go to, most of these banks and lending institutions, they are pretty much saying that they are looking for a 575 credit score. Now, there could be something outside of that they would accept, but just understand that your down payment will be a little bit higher. And that may be okay with you. You may have the money, but your credit may suffer. If that is the case, then you still want to reach out. Don't just disqualify yourself just because you see that you don't meet one or two of the requirements to receive this type of loan. Really try to advocate for yourself And, you know, just don't disqualify yourself. I don't want you to get discouraged looking at this website and say, oh, I don't qualify because I have a 540 credit score. Reach out, still reach out. It's very important. All right. So Triad Financial Services is bank number 3. Number 4, I mentioned this in a prior video that I did, is 21st Mortgage Corporation, or just 21stmortgage.com. They offer chattel loans as well. And they discuss, I like this too. They really outline what will be asked on the application, because for a lot of you, this could be your first home purchase, right? You may not have purchased a single family home or anything at all. So you need to know, like, what are they going to ask me? Like, on the application, what do I need to have in order to secure this loan? So it's saying full name, date of birth, current address, income and employment information, etc. You would go down this list, click apply now. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you contact them. You email them. You be proactive, right? So they talk about the loan programs that they do have, and they have a lot of questions answered. Oh, this is cool too. So you want to make sure, if you can, if you're interested in this, see if any of these banks or lending institutions have a prepayment penalty. What is a prepayment penalty? That is a mouthful to say. A prepayment penalty basically allows you to pay the loan off sooner than maybe the 23 years that they gave to you. Now, why would somebody want to do that? Well, if you are doing pretty good for yourself and you say, hey, I've been making extra payments and not just the minimum payment, will I be able to pay off the manufactured home earlier without any penalties against myself for doing so? That is a question you need to ask on each one of these banks. Now, 21st Mortgage says that you're good to go there, but make sure you ask on Cascade or any other ones that I've mentioned today. Make sure you ask and see if it's okay for you to pay off the manufactured home early. Okay, especially if your loan payment might be $500 as an example. If you could do $600-700, that's extra money every month that you're putting towards it, and pay it off early. You don't want to be penalized for that. So you have to ask, okay? Keep that in mind. So this is 21st Mortgage. They do a really good job of outlining what is expected of you. They have a payment estimator. I just like the functionality of this website. Last but not least, I've mentioned Vanderbilt before in one of my videos, not my last one, but one of an earlier video that I did. Vanderbilt Mortgage, the website is vmf.com. So Vanderbilt also offers chattel loans, okay? So they say the home only loan. That's pretty much what you're paying for if you don't have the land. If you say that you want to live in a manufactured or mobile home community, and you're going to be renting the land as well, again, the chattel loan might be for you. So keep that in mind, okay? And that is the end of my video. I truly do hope you benefited from this video and that you have seen 5 banks or lending institutions that do provide funding or financing for the manufactured home, even if you don't have land, okay? If you made it this far in the video, go ahead in the comment section, comment mobile homes. It allows me to know you made it this far in the video, and I truly do appreciate you. Until next time, guys, you stay blessed. Peace.